Welcome to another Java tutorial. This time we're looking at figure 4.12, and this is on page 128. This is class analysis. This time, rather than entering grades, we're just going to enter whether the student has passed or failed. We're going to enter 10 of these, and we're going to count the number of passes and the number of failures. So we want to initialize passes to 0, and we want to initialize failures to 0. We're going to do similar counting as we did in the first grades method. Result is simply the input of 1 or 2 for pass or fail. And I glossed over it a bit last time, but if is a conditional. Conditionals are necessary for computer programs to make decisions. So if the condition is true, it will execute the first statement. And if you have an else, it will execute the second statement. If you need multiple statements, then you need to enter in curly brackets, which is a block of code. And this will let you enter multiple statements for the conditional. So just to reiterate, if it's true, it'll execute the first piece. Otherwise, it'll execute the second piece of code. And just a reminder, you've seen this plus plus before. Plus plus means to increment passes by 1, and it'll store it back into the variable passes. When you're doing conditional, we have to have equals equals, and that actually means a conditional equals. It'll test to see if this value equals this value. Recall up here that we have one equal sign is an assignment statement. The assignment statement will take the 1 and put it into the variable. Here, this is an assignment statement. It'll take a 0 and put it into failures. Here, we don't put 1 into result. We just simply check to see if result equals 1. So an interesting exercise for you to do would be to convert this into using a sentinel rather than counting strictly up to 10. And after we're done looping, we print out the number that passed and the number that failed. And we have one more conditional here. If the number of passes is greater than 8, then we give the instructor a bonus for teaching them so well. And if you change this to a sentinel, you need to change this computation or conditional to handle percentages. So you would want it greater than 80%. Since this is a standalone program, we can simply run this. And it's a standalone program, we can tell because there's a main. Okay, let's make the first 2 fail, and the rest is a pass. So 2 failed, 8 passed, and there's no bonus for the instructor. Let's run this again. Again, we should always test to make sure all branches of code are executed. And this can be very difficult for a large program, so you want to test larger programs piece by piece. So let's only make 1 person fail and the rest pass. 9 pass, so we give a bonus to the instructor. And that completes this lesson.